Check out FlipsideGaming.com for all your gaming needs. Use the promo code HEROES to save 10% on all orders over $10.
Hey there, this is John, and welcome to another episode of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch, where this time we're looking at the top 10 coldest Magic cards of the week. So if you're thinking of maybe picking up some of these cards, this is a good indicator that it could be a good time, or maybe shortly will be a good time to grab these. And that's why this is one of my favorite videos that I do. I do feel like there are some deals to be had at times when it comes to cards that are falling. So with that being said, again, this is based on a change in the amount of sales, as well as a percentage decrease in value over the course of the week. Couple things quickly before we get into our top 10. First, I do want to say thank you to one of our gold patrons, and that is Drave. Drave, thank you for all the support you've given the channel. Drave has been a patron of ours for a while now. Like I always say, that really goes a long way. So thank you, Drave. Much appreciated. And also, as you know, if you go to FlipsideGaming.com, you can use the Heroes promo code to save 10% on orders over $10. Currently, you can pre-order Murders at Karlov Manor there. You can pick up Ravnica Remastered. You can pre-order the Fallout Commander decks. Lots of stuff happening in the world of Magic as always. And if you use that Heroes promo code, it does support the channel, which is always appreciated. So thank you. And without any further ado, let's get into it. Number 10 is Misleading Signpost. This goes down $1.03 to $6.37. That's a 15% decrease. So this is from the Wilds of Eldraine Fey Dominion Commander deck, and it was a hot card when the deck was released. It is in some different Commander builds, which include fresh decks around a couple cards from Fey Dominion, but it also shows up in Bruvac the Grandiloquent decks too in Commander. As this card continues to make its way into players' hands, the price is coming down some. Number 9 is Tergrid, God of Fright. This is down $1.16 to $10.41. That's a 10% decrease. So this has always been a fairly popular commander since its release, but it got a boost recently thanks to a card from Lost Caverns of Ixalan. That is Aklazot's Deepest Betrayal. Some commander players wanted Tergrid for these builds, but as time passes and players move on to new cards, new strategies, we are seeing this retract a little bit. Number 8 is Creeping Bloodsucker, down $1.18 to $5.72. That's a 17% decrease, and this is designated as a common, but it is from Jumpstart 2022, so it is harder to find than a normal common. This quickly became a sought-after commander card when it was released and has shown up in a number of decks there, but the most popular one right now is Aloro Ageless Ascetic. Again, time passes, lots of other new cards come out and are previewed, and commander players start moving on to some different things. So again, this one's retracting some. Number 7 is Zealot's Sanity Flyer. This goes down $1.23 this week to $6.82. That is a 15% decrease. And this is the foil copy from the Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate Mind Flayer's Commander deck. As you might remember, this was moving down last week as well. And you can see this in a bunch of commander builds. Captain Nagathrod may be the most common, since of course that is also in Mind Flayers, but you also see this in other places too, like Umber Sphere Manifest for example. We did see this card spike when Caverns of Ixalan was coming out and bringing support for horror creatures and mill. Now the card is moving down into its new price point. Number 6 is Mirex. This card was on our top 10 cold cards last week as well, and it's down again, down $1.26 to $7.83. That's a 14% decrease. Now this card was hot recently due to the amount of play it was seeing in Commander, Pioneer, and most importantly for this card, Standard. It's in a bunch of decks there, including the very popular Bant Poison build, where you'll find 3 copies of this in the main. In spite of all the play that it is getting, it's still trying to find its price point from the recent spike, so it is trending down again this week. Number 5 is Sunfall. This goes down $1.50 to $7.26. That's a 17% decrease. So this too has seen a spike and is now moving down into its new price point. It's a card you do see in Commander, Pioneer, and Standard. In Pioneer, sometimes there's a copy of this in Hidden String sideboards, and it's in other builds there too. But the big driver, again, for the recent spike was Standard. This appeared in several decks there, including the popular Domain build, where you typically see 4 copies of this in the main. In spite of that, though, this card is still retracting off that recent spike. Number 4 is a card that was spiking last week. It even made our top 10 hottest cards video, but this week it is going down. Urabrask, down $1.55 to $13. That is an 11% decrease. And yeah, we have another card here that spiked. Now it's retracting, trying to find its correct price point. It's a fairly popular commander in that format, and it's in the 99 of a number of builds there too, One of those builds, however, was driving the spike more than the others. That deck was Oher Exonal Deepest Might. Urabrask is appearing in many of those very popular decks, but as you can see, it is still moving down some this week. Number 3 is Haunted One. This is the foil copy from the Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate Mind Flayer's Commander deck. It is down $1.95 to $11.62 for a 14% decrease. We did see this one last week in our top 10 cold card video. It's back again, and our hot video had some repeats this week too, so check that out if you haven't watched it. But I do think right now it's just a little odd in the market as people are kind of waiting to see what happens with murders at Karlov Manor. But regardless, this is a great commander card for a lot of builds. You see this in Captain Nagathrod decks, which again makes sense because that was also in Mind Flayers. But you also see it in builds there like Marrow. The card did spike when Caverns of Ixalan was coming out, since vampires and horrors both got some support there. However, now this continues to slide down into its new price point. Number 2 is another repeat offender from last week, Flaming Tyrannosaurus, down $2.24 to $7.20. It's a 24% decrease. So this is from the Doctor Who Paradox Power Commander deck, and the Doctor Who decks came out around the same time as Caverns of Ixalan, so Commander players who wanted to build around dinosaurs had a desire to pick this up at the time. The card quickly jumped, and it does see play in a number of Commander builds, but the most popular one is Pantalaza Sunfavored. Additionally, some wanted this just to upgrade the deck that Pantalaza was from, Velasa Ramp Tour. I see what they did there. Now players are turning their attention to a new wave of cards in 2024, so this continues to retract. And coming in at number 1 this week is a pretty good mana-based card. This is Jetmir's Garden from Streets of New Capenna. It goes down $3.57 to $22.88. That's a 13% decrease. So you see this card in mana bases in Commander, Pioneer, Standard. It even makes some appearances in Modern. Because of all the play it gets, the card has been fetching a pretty high price. You see 4 copies of this in Standard Domain, which was one of the catalysts for the growth of this card recently, but now it's moving down. Why? Well, it's getting reprinted in the Raining Cats and Dogs Secret Lair Commander deck. It'll be interesting to see how low this one goes in the short term, and then again once those decks get into people's hands. We may be approaching a better time to pick this card up if you need it. And that is going to do it for our top 10 cold cards of the week. Hopefully, if you need any of these cards, you'll find some deals out there. Sometimes sellers will see these cards beginning to go down and they'll sort of panic and lower the price even more. So there could be deals to be had. Definitely check out the different stores, shop around out there. And a lot of times local game stores will have better deals than you find online at, say, TCG Player. So know your local game stores. Check those out definitely as well whenever you can. One quick programming note, you might remember that last week I said I was planning on doing a stream at the end of the week. Unfortunately, I had some PC issues and it didn't happen, but I'm trying to get that resolved. So I talked about this a little bit in the hot video, but I had a great computer that could stream Arena. Everything was wonderful. I've done it in the past, of course. But unfortunately, that bricked on me a couple of years ago now or so, and I have not been able to really replace it with an adequate computer. So it just bricked when I was doing a Windows update, and I was able to recover stuff off it, but I could never get it to run again, which is kind of sad. But I bought a cheap computer at the time just so I could keep making videos quickly, and that's just not cutting it for streaming. Well, I'm just going to have to buy another one, unfortunately, so that's the situation I'm in right now. Going to try to do that this week if I can get it done, and I can get all my settings and everything set up and get it going. I might have a stream later this week. If not, definitely by next week. I don't see a reason I shouldn't have one unless the computer I get has trouble. So thank you all for your help, your love, and support. Thank you for all the great comments since I've been back over the last few weeks. I do appreciate it. And until next time, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day.
Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.